The air in Jacob's garage smelled of hot dust, rosin, and yesterday's coffee. Outside, the searing Nevada sun turned the asphalt into a pliable mass. But here, in the semi-darkness amidst shelves of dead iron, his own ordered world reigned. Jacob was its demiurge. He didn't repair. He resurrected. A data recovery specialist, he extracted information from charred, drowned, and crushed storage media. For him, there were no secrets, only damaged sectors and logical errors. The job arrived by mail, in an anonymous box. Inside, nestled in a bed of anti-static foam, lay a grotesque lump of plastic and metal. Its shape had once been a hard drive from the 70s, bulky, heavy. Now it was melted on one edge, as if it had been dipped into a blast furnace. A short note was attached. Extract everything possible. Payment on completion. For 3 days, Jacob worked his magic on it. He used cryogenic treatment to stabilize the fragile platters and manually rebuilt the reed head under a microscope. He was a skeptic to the bone, and all this mystery was more amusing to him than anything else. Probably some corporate nonsense, industrial espionage from 40 years ago. On the 4th day, a green line of text appeared on his terminal. File recovered. 1. Name: Lazarus.wav. A single file. Jacob put on his studio headphones, leaned back in his chair, and double-clicked. First, there was silence. Not a digital perfect silence, but a heavy, oppressive one, like a vacuum. Then came a crackle, like a discharge of static electricity. And through it, a voice emerged. Male, calm, with a faint Boston accent. Call sign: Lazarus, Day 7, Systems. Systems are nominal. Capsule is stable. Another crackle. Jacob frowned. The voice was clear. Too clear for a recording from that era. It had to be a fake. Some student's art project. Position: unknown. The voice continued, a first note of bewilderment in it. Telemetry is unresponsive. In the viewport. My God. Houston, can you hear me? There are no stars in the viewport. Just blackness. Not the blackness of space. A different kind. Jacob turned up the volume. The voice trembled. I'm passing through some kind of field. The vibration. It's not external. It's inside. In the atoms. Houston, do you copy? I'm falling. But not down. I'm falling through. I see lights. They aren't moving, they just are. Still lights in a cold non-space. The voice dropped to a choked whisper. This isn't a fall. It's a rewrite. The recording ended with a piercing, ear-splitting screech. Jacob tore off his headphones. The garage was filled with a deafening silence. His first thought, a hoax. A high-quality one, but a hoax. The Gemini capsules didn't fly for that long, and didn't have call signs like Lazarus. He decided to approach it like his work. Dissect it. Find the flaw. The path of experiment began. He loaded the file into an oscilloscope. The waveforms of the noise and static were chaotic, as expected. But the waveform of the voice itself, it was perfectly symmetrical. unnaturally perfect, as if drawn by a computer, not spoken by a human. Next step, spectral analysis. Jacob ran the program, and an image woven from frequencies began to appear on the screen. He expected to see the usual light show, but what he saw made his blood run cold. Hidden in the structure of the noise, between the astronaut's words, was a pattern. Complex, repeating, resembling a fractal. But it was a fractal that seemed to fold into a dimension the screen couldn't display. The angles were wrong, the lines led to nowhere. Non-Euclidean geometry embodied in sound. Just a compression artifact, he muttered, but he no longer believed it himself. The air in the garage grew thick and cold. He isolated the patterned fragment and played it in a loop, increasing the frequency. A low, vibrating hum filled the air. An adjustable wrench lying on the workbench trembled and fell with a clang onto the concrete floor. Jacob recoiled from the monitor. The temperature in the garage dropped by several degrees, his breath now visible as a white cloud. The air smelled of ozone, like after a lightning strike. He stared at the screen, at the impossible pattern, and suddenly, he understood. This wasn't a recording of an astronaut falling through reality. It was an instruction, a blueprint. The signal wasn't a message about an event. The signal was the event. A consciousness, or what was left of it, had become an information virus encoded into an audio file, waiting for a processor complex enough to unpack it. And Jacob, with all his equipment and his analytical mind, had just run it on the most advanced biocomputer on the planet, inside his own brain. Assimilation didn't come with a flash of light. It came with a cold, all-consuming clarity. The astronaut's final words, "This is a rewrite," echoed in his head, no longer as someone else's, but as his own. There was no panic. The struggle was over the moment he had clicked, recover. Calmly, with inhuman methodicalness, he dragged the Lazarus.wav file to the trash and emptied it. Then he opened a terminal and entered a low-level format command for the entire drive, erasing even the hint of the file's existence. He wrote a short email to the client. "Disk is unrecoverable. Data is lost. No payment required." He shut down his equipment. The silence in the garage returned to what it was: ordinary, dusty, warm. Jacob stood up and, without looking back, walked outside. The echo found him under the bottomless Nevada sky, dotted with billions of stars. He looked at the familiar constellations: the Big Dipper, Orion, Cassiopeia. But now, he saw more. Through them, behind them, between them, he saw what the astronaut had seen: the still, cold, indifferent lights. They didn't twinkle, they just were. He felt a vibration under his skin, the cold of non-space. It wasn't frightening, it was natural. He was no longer Jacob, the data recovery specialist looking at the stars. He was an anomaly, looking out from its new capsule at a world it was yet to explore.